I had the opportunity to go up to the training centre at New South Wales PPG, and they had a whole range of new products that have come out, including the UV primer, which I think is really, really cool. And obviously those battery operated polishes that we've been using for a while now, the SATA guns, and also all the SATA consumables. And I grabbed the opportunity to get some of the guys to actually go through and talk about these products. So I hope you enjoy the same opportunity I had to listen about what some of these products are and just how they can help you in what you're doing with either your project or if you're running a business.
So basically we've got UV primer for your gun. We've got a SATA 1.1 here, RP. We're running it through a SATA RPS UV Black top. So basically the black design here, no UV penetrate through it. You can leave it in your gun. When you finish it, you put your cap back over it and away you go. Work on your car, you come back to it, take your cap back off, and you start priming again. So I'm going to go in here and do a demo of 3 panels. We're going to do a small panel under a small hand light, one under big light, and one for outside under natural light, and see how it dries.
Now, so he's going to run the big lamp on the bigger repair. This can be done to a fairly decent sized repaired area. As we just mentioned, it does go to aluminium, goes direct to metal. Your bog work, existing paint work, so long as that's keyed up with 240 on current paint work. If we're going on to bare metal, we'd recommend to use probably 120. We need the bare metal to be gouged up fairly well so the primer sticks to it correctly. He's going to run the big light on the big area. That'll run for 3 minutes. This particular unit has IR, so infrared and UV, so you can do both. You don't need 2 separate lights. You've got the little handheld, so if we've got multiple repairs on a vehicle, we can do both of those at the same time. The other guard there have stuck outside there.
11:31. Yeah.
Yep. I'm timing it.
We'll check it about 10 minutes.
So we do recommend obviously to wear those particular glasses. Don't look directly into any UV light. It's not good for our retinas on the eyes. So that's pre-programmed. That will run for 3 minutes for the UV. The handheld one will go for 100 seconds. We normally flick that back on and just go again. We'll have a look at, once he's got that done or that light turns off, just have a quick feel of it. I'll have a look. I'll put some gloves on to make sure. We'll have a feel of that first, and then we'll get, if it needs another cure, we'll go another light section on there. But that 3 minutes on that particular UV, on that light, more than adequate, it'll be ready to go. So that light there is also pretty good if we've got, so UV needs direct penetration with UV. If we had a panel that was virtually vertical like that, we can get the UV on that light, so it's going to cure that side. It won't cure the other side because there's no UV exposure. If we had that little lamp, you can also wave that on the other side, so you can do that one repair all in one hand. That is a UV, or the UV is a one choice primer, so we can put that under any of our brands. So it will go under your Protect Max Maya.
Is it leaking down or is it just...
No, that's ready for use straight in the tin. So as soon as I get that in, give it a really good stir, put the lid back on when they're not using it so it's not exposed to any UV light. We do, obviously you have got the black pots there, that does, you can leave the primer in there.
And it won't dry off inside the...
Yeah, well, that primer won't dry without any UV.
Oh, so that's why you've got to put the cap back on it.
Yeah, so that's why it cap's back on. It's a black pot, just eliminates any exposure to the UV. Alright, so you can feel that now. It's probably still got like a little bit of a sticky sort of stickiness to it, but that should be ready to block. So that's a bit of 240. Obviously, if we were in a body shop environment, we are going to guide coat that.
Yeah, do a guide coat.
So you can see that that does dust up, it powders up. So with a 3-minute cure, the odour's nowhere near as much. Yeah. So that'll be your block down 240, re-guide coat, buzz with 400. That's now the UV that Najib just applied a second ago or a couple of minutes ago. This is now at 9 minutes. Technically we should be leaving this out here for about 20 minutes just so we can get the UV exposure to it.
Yep.
It has been a pretty overcast day. We've just finally got some sun come through. So this has now been 9 minutes. And that's pretty much dry there now.
That's
so
9 minutes there now.
If we can allow that obviously to dry out for the 20 minutes, you're going to get a better cure of this particular product. So after 9 minutes, that's still powdering up. So that's pretty impressive. So for a body shop, they want to leave that for 20 minutes.
How you going, Bill?
Not bad.
So mate, give us a bit of a rundown. So this is obviously, you know, the new thing, and it looks all pretty pretty out there, and I believe it's only been a year or so.
Pretty much a year, close to 2 years that this has been out now. It's starting to get out there in the shops, so we've got quite a few, I think maybe about 4 in New South Wales alone that's set up in with a Moonwalk like this. Give you a rundown with it. So these are all the storage areas. So the Moonwalk itself is pretty much just this machine with the touchscreen there. The rest is pretty much all storage. Rundown with this thing. I'll set up a color for you. Just go for a silver. So over here, this is just Paint Manager. So this just works like the normal PPG, operating like you would on a computer in a scale. You just operate it as normal, so we'll just punch in how much we want. We want 100 mils of this color. We'll add our reducer, and then we'll go to mix session. From this point on, Paint Manager will now flick over to a Moonwalk program. So over here, you'll see that this is the tinters that we want, and it'll actually highlight over here where the tinters are actually placed. So it's telling us to grab 474. You'll grab that, whack it on there. That is quite low, so it might actually tell us to change that. We'll have a look at that in a second. 475. 475 over here. Just for giggles, we'll put a tinter that's not on the system. So there is no 404 on there, but we'll put that there just to show you what it does. 491. Where are you? Over here. And a thinner, which is over here. And I'll just show you, we can even put it anywhere you want as well. So from this point here, we'll hit dispense. Now it's going to tell us to load up our cup. So we've been mixing a fair bit of this today. So we'll just get that in there. Close the door. Close the gate. And then we just hit start. So you can see the first tinter here, it's actually saying very low. We did point that out, that it was quite low. Now it doesn't mean that it can't mix it.
but it means keep your eye on it. You might have to change the tinter over.
So while that's mixing, so obviously what Trev was just explaining to me is this is way more accurate than what we can ever do on the old scales.
Yes. So on your old scale, you've got, if you look over here, we've got a scale here. So you've got 0.0, where if you look at the Moonwalk, you'll have 0.00. So it's a lot more accurate than someone here mixing it.
Yeah, and of course that human factor we know when we're trying to get that
exactly.
last point.
So when we're trying to just get that last drop,
Yep.
and sometimes we go over too much, it is very common. It will also know which tinter is where by using a barcode. So as he was going across before, he was actually scanning the barcode.
Yeah, right.
So it can't put the wrong color in there. The only way that could possibly be done is if somebody puts the wrong tinter
someone loads,
on
yeah.
the wrong thing.
Yep.
Other than that, we've got the wrong tinter on here as well. It will actually know that, hey, that's not right. I'll just ignore that and we'll move on. So the idea right now is not to stand and watch it, but to be active. So right now I'll probably be mixing my wet on wet, or I'll be prep selling my car, or anything just to keep the ball moving. When was it? I think yesterday I had 8 spray out cards to do. So the idea was get it mixing. As it was mixing, I was shooting up. Came back, color was ready. Started doing my spray out color. Came back, next color was ready. And I just kept turning them over, turning them over, turning them over. Rather than me standing there mixing 8 different colors, that was so much faster, so much more beneficial. In a smash repair, you'll probably have a colorist who's finding the color. He sees the color he likes, then he's got to come and mix it, and then he's got to jump on the next color. In this instance, he could pick a color he likes, put it through the Moonwalk machine, walk away from it, and start on the next color. So it's a lot more faster process.
More accurate and quicker.
Accurate, faster. We've got young apprentices that have never mixed a color in their lives now using this.
Yep.
And tradesman is very happy. So you can see there, it's just completely missed 404, ignored it and just moved on to the next color. So over there, it looks like it's actually gone over. But if you actually look, it's 0.01
of a gram.
which is something that you won't see on a scale.
Not at all. Cool, so that's mixed, ready to go.
So we've just got the thinners to go now.
Oh, okay.
And there's your colour ready to go.
Green for go.
Green is to go. Ready for the next colour.
All right, Bill, thanks very much for that.
No problems.
And that's it, folks, the Moonwalk. Right, so I grabbed hold of Stan now. He's just going to run through. So you've all seen me use Mirka, and Mirka's been around forever. And PPG are a distributor for it in Australia, and they're now bringing in some of the consumables. So some really cool stuff here, Sam. The first thing I picked up is the dispenser here. So I use this gold stuff, and we used it when we were here doing Boss XC.
Yep.
But mate, I reckon that's a cool thing.
Yeah, no, anything dispenser's great to hold it, mount it to the walls, have it in the workshop, nice and tidy, easy access to for your gold flicks. Nice soft panels, as Howard said, great to use in those really tight spaces where you need to get a hand in there. And if you can't get a block, doesn't give you a big coarse
I love it. I reckon it's great stuff.
Yep, awesome.
So mate, all of these are new to me. So I use some of the tack rags.
Yes.
And they seem to be a really nice item.
So yeah, so definitely these are all the new items that Mirka has brought out with us. Really good tack rag, not too sticky,
doesn't leave a lot of residue or anything on behind the panel, which is always crucial when we're painting. You know, we don't want to be painting over any top rag, grease marks. We also have our new degreasing disc cloths. So what you use is your prep sole, wax and grease remover to go over your panels before we do priming or painting.
And it does make a big difference compared to using a bit of rag.
Yes,
and
yes.
I've found that over the years.
Well, that's it. You can wipe over that on your panel. It's not going to leave any cotton residue, you know, any nasty little hairs or fibres that we don't want to have that clean, nice prep surface. And that also as well now, Mirka's bringing out with some mixing cups. You can see in the various sizes that we have. Great that we have lids to store that.
And lids
paint
as well, which is cool.
Yeah, always good to have lids, you know, nice. We can store paint, keep it away for that next little touch
So
up
I always
we may
find
need.
it interesting that when you're using a cup like these, and I do use them when you're mixing more than you need, that won't fit in the gun, is the fact that when you look at the collation on the side, because they're not straight, it's obviously correct. So if you're using a mixing stick in a cup that's not straight-sided, it's not going to be very accurate.
No, definitely very crucial. I think it's probably something that's understated about how crucial that mixing is to get a correct mix every time.
And then what we've got along with that, and I've just dragged Gareth into the discussion as well. How you doing, bud?
Yeah, good, thanks, mate. Yourself?
Good. So these are the new colours, mate. These look a bit sexier than mine.
Yeah, a little bit nicer than the red, that's for sure.
Well, mine's before the red. I got the old grey.
Grey, yeah, some of the old grey ones.
The old grey one.
5S station.
So I really like the look of these, and I see in the brochure there's some additives for hangers and all sorts of things to go on it.
A lot more accessories now.
So we can see there.
Rubbish from there, got your lip, got your drawers. It's got a lockable covered on around on the other side here now.
Yeah, actually I presume that's like mine. Yeah, so that's really good, all the spares. And I mean, when you look at these, you think it's a lot of money, but I can assure you it keeps all your stuff in the one spot, and you know where it is, and it's with you when you need to go with it. And then I haven't seen one of these little jiggers, so.
This is our 1230 workstation. Guys that are space poor in their shop are finding it, as you can see, it's a lot more compact. It's about the same width and length as the 1230 dust extractor. In the centre here, you can see you can stack up all of your boxes. You can have your papers and your sanders all clicked in and locked into one. And then when you're out and working, you've got everything there for your papers and to hang your sanders.
Cool.
On the side. So
I like it.
for a guy that doesn't have a lot of space in the shop, it's a good use of that space.
So it's probably not quite for the handyman, but if you can, if you're setting your place up, whether you're at a fully registered shop or you do a lot of work at home and you don't have a lot of room, these are the kit, that's for sure. And the one I spotted on the wall here, I'm going to have to try and get myself one of these, is all your Velcro blocks hang up on there because I run out of drawer space.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And then you got all your different profiles, convex, concave, dead flat, to all those difficult sections of panel.
So as you can see, definitely
Yep.
a large variety of shape there, even compared to the concave side by side is quite different.
Awesome. And all available now through your PPG distributor and distributed by the guys at Mirka. Thanks, boys.